welcome to Bonnie Book Review Tween Hour. Today I'm going to be reviewing the book series Geek by Holly Smale. I've always pronounced it Small, but it might be pronounced Holly Smale. I'm not too sure. By the way it is spelt, it's probably Smale. I might be pronouncing it wrong. But this is what it looks like. So in this series it has 6 books called Geek Girl, Model Misfit, Picture Perfect, All That Glitters, Head Over Heels, and Forever Geek. So the author of the book, Geek Girl, Holly Smale, was spotted by a modelling agency in London at age 15, and she spent the next couple of years messing up and breaking things that she couldn't afford to replace. After this experience, she set her sights on writing and quit modelling, and the Geek Girl book's actually loosely based on her experience as a model. So the genre for these books would be, it's a fictional series, but it is loosely based on the author's own experience in modelling. It follows a girl called Harriet Manners through her own experiences in modelling and school life and how she has to deal with bullying. It's very much a story of self-acceptance because she has to kind of realise that she should be her true self instead of pretending to be someone that she's not. So in this book, there's the main character, Harriet Manners, and she has a best friend called Nat and another best friend called Toby. It's partially set in a school, so there are teachers in it and there are other students, but they're not very main characters. The author has still managed to describe them really well, and they do add to the book series, but they're not main characters. There are also bullies in this book series, and she kind of has to overcome those bullies at the end to finally accept herself as who she is as a geek. So I think the biggest character arc in the book series would be Harriet goes from hating the fact that she's a geek and that everyone bullies her to being like this really beautiful model who's super popular at her school, then to finally accepting herself as a whole, being a geek, and that's how she kind of overcomes the bullies. I think my 4 favourite characters in this series would be Harriet, Toby, because he's really silly and he stalks Harriet because he admires her so much as a person. He's also kind of geeky, so that is really good to have a best friend who is geeky as well. I absolutely love her crazy grandma Bunty. She's super fun, really loud and bubbly. And then her modelling agent Wilbur just loves everything glitter, and he's super funny, and he just kind of adds a really bright, happy smile to the book series. So the Geek Girl series has a lot of inspirational quotes in it, but I'm just going to read you 2 of my favourites that I wrote down in this very sparkly notebook. So the first one is, because here's the thing about a book. When you pick up a story, you put down your own. So that's a really good one. And the other one is, our future selves are only as good as our past selves believe we can be. So those are 2 of my favourite quotes from the book series. And these aren't exactly quotes, but her modelling agent Wilbur has really funny nicknames for her, like Baby Panda and Baby Bear and Monkey Chunk. So it's kind of funny because he just throws them in randomly throughout the book series, and it's funny to kind of hear those. So there was nothing that I didn't like about the Geek Girl series. It was a great series. It was such a page turner. I kept wanting to know what happened in her life. So I read book 1, then book 2, then book 3, and then I had to ask my parents to go out and buy me the next ones. I think at the end, there was a really uplifting and touching part that did make me cry for a while, and I didn't exactly know why, but I think it was because she finally accepted herself. So I sat there crying for a little while, and I'm just going to read you the final words of the book. So this is it. Then I put my pen away because these are my words and this is my story. Now you get to choose yours. So she did say a bit more, but it's quite long, so I'm not going to read that bit. But it was really touching how she finally had accepted herself as a whole and as a geek, and I just really liked that part of it. I think I read these books 10 turning 11, so I would say that the age for these books would probably be 11 plus. I recommended it to my friends and they read it and they absolutely loved it. So it's a really good book series. I absolutely love this book series. I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. Not quite the standard of the Madoran Chronicles. If you've watched that review video, I gave it a 100 out of 10, but it's still a great book series and I loved it. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching.